Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron for the New Order as Iberian. Let's continue on for last off. So if you were saying in the comments that if we went down the warpath, that it makes going reformist impossible. And I'm not too sure if I agree with that, because I do see here, if you look at the military plan, that it does say that it will make reformism weaker in the council. But I mean, we're going with so many other, like, positive things to make reformism a little bit stronger. I think overall we'll still be in an okay spot. I mean, how close are we actually to winning this war even? We want to look at... No, no, they're ongoing conflicts. Where are you? This one. Currently at 87%, we need to get down below 35, which shouldn't actually be, like, that difficult. It is 64. You know, let's skip our infantry equipment for now. Our tank division is going to be a little bit on the weaker side, but that's also okay, I think. You know, let's actually move our tank up here. One of you stays behind. The end of South African War. Who has won? Probably Germany. Yeah, now the whole thing is just a war republic, so the Americans have definitely lost the war in a big, big way. So what if you go, like... here and then down like this? Actually, no, this tank division, what if you just drive straight to this city? Because these guys down here aren't going to matter so much. I mean, there's a handful of cities, but I can't imagine that's going to be a huge concern for us. What decisions do you want us to do? Try to scale you guys back. Anything we can do with the budget. Right now, the workers are still content, so I'm not too worried about that. Let us... scale back the military in Accorda Guyana. That seems reasonable. Okay, I mean, the tank's driving pretty quickly. I'll say that. There's no major cities here, so I guess you will just drive down to these cities down in the south. How about you go here, and then why not move your way along the coast? It's not a coast, at the border with Libya. But just drive your way down here. I mean, it is the desert, so you shouldn't be, like, that bad there. Okay, so we're going to amend the Constitution. We do want to support Speer in the German Civil War, because it's going to help boost popularity for the reformist. And the U.S. welcomes our help in Africa. It's a little bit too late for that, I think. Following a meeting with American President Richard Nixon, our ambassador to the United States reported back to our foreign ministry in Madrid with an American response. The Americans have been quite jubilantly accepted our offer to support in South Africa and welcome our forces in addition to theirs in the conflict. In further support of our efforts, the Americans have pledged extensive logistic assistance to commence our operation in the region to ensure a smooth operational launch. Salazar has proven quite alienated throughout following the news. Already thousands of Portuguese soldiers are poised to deploy in South Africa, as thousands more conduct additional training to prepare for near future deployments. Many in the public remain skeptical, however, of the significance of the conflict. People question why Iberian men must be sent to perish in a conflict thousands of miles away over a country with no true ties to Iberia. Regardless of skepticism, Salazar has a Portuguese war machine mobilizing as much as feasible as the countdown to Iberian operations in South Africa continues. Which I think immediately is already over because the war's done. Again, keep on doing this. Law of the organic state. In order to ensure that the Iberian Council has a reasonable amount of power and the ability to perform the task that is to be entrusted with, a new fundamental law of the realm must be passed. The First Amendment of the original fundamental law of Iberia since the 1940s. This law, at least in writing, gives the Iberian Council several powers, such as the ability to level federal taxes and issue federal laws, with the approval of Salazar and Franco. It remains unknown, however, how much power the legislative body will actually be able to exert. I mean, I'll let them have as much power as they need. You can march down to here. That seems okay. I guess once you're down there, you'll also go to the city. I mean, a war in Algeria, it has to be over soon, right? Yeah, no, it's actually over at midnight. Okay, fantastic. So we've won the war. War is hell, but we now have full control over Algeria. I think it's, you know, it's more than worth it. I don't know what we really get in Algeria. Actually, if you look at resources, there's some oil. No harm in that. And what news has come? The HMMLR is victorious in the English Civil War. So there's no more British influence, or no more German influence in Britain. So we'll kind of see how that ends up playing out in the future. Please turn off the fog. And Iberia gains control of Algeria. Formerly, Algeria was under French ownership. Anyone with even a basic knowledge of worldwide politics. However, wait. Okay, I'm going to restart that over again. Formerly, Algeria was under French ownership. Anyone with even a basic knowledge of world politics, however, would know that that is no longer the case. Divided by foreign settlers of both Iberia and Italy, the area has been left to a state best described as anarchic. This is poised to change after recent events. After a conflict in a partition colony, it would appear that the Iberian settlers have claimed victory and wrest control for the entire country from both previous owners. The new Algerian state, led by the infamous Pierre Noir Yves Saccharin, has announced in its gratitude the succession of areas around the city of Oran to the new Iberian Union. International observers label this as a decisive show of Iberian military prowess, or at least an Italian lack of preparation. We're now significantly more stable, which is nice. We've gotten, I think we got this. No, we got these two provinces just directly under our direct control, which is nice. And I guess for now, you guys will go on the Libyan border. And after the triumph, that went better than even I had expected at first, as Alzir shaky. Romeric hands poured Madrina wine into 2 curvy bottom wine glasses. And I wish the rest of us could say the same. Just half this time, Antonio Francisco Franco swirled the dark amber spears in his half-empty wine glass. The wrinkly scowl met with a stare from his polished sheen. Never was a good trade for it. Nor was it a turn... Okay. No, not after we turned thousands of our boys into buzzard feed, Franco grumbled. It lay next to a liquor bottle obtained by thousands of private stores. A piece of paper, letter-sized, office white and pristine, but for integrate calligraphy as its center flanked... by 2 crests. Alzir bore no children, but Franco swore he entered his office cradling the treaty-covered page like it was his own newborn babe. Now, Alzir replied, "Don't be so harsh on yourself, that you overlook victory for such small defeats. Iberia has won its greatest war since the anti-Bolshevik crusade. Algeria has been made whole. Its Iberians made safe by those men. Our faith paid for off in spades. Francisco was not worth celebrating over some wine." Speaking of faith, Franco paused to quaff his grass. Warm, sweet wine blazed a path from palate to stomach. You've been heaping plenty of Frenchman madmen. No, you've been heaping plenty on the French madman and his cohort of thugs. Show me someone who said he did not. Okay, show me. I don't know why this paragraph's like messing with my brain. Show me someone who said that he did nothing to win the war for us, and I'll show you a liar. In any case, he's our man on the ground, no more, no less. We'll reel him in if he steps out of line. Until then. The guy will do us better at keeping a peace in Algeria's east. Yeah, let's just have some more wine. I'm sure this guy, he's got like a cool little flag. I'm sure nothing bad could possibly happen. So we are now supporting Speer. We want to not send equipment. I mean, is Speer winning? I think it's maybe a little bit too early to say. But I want to... Yeah, increase reformism. I think we want to at least get rid of the radicals in our party. Get rid of the philatelist. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or at least somewhat reasonable. Let's... GDP will worsen. Increase extraction from Guinea. You know, let's... No, not reinstate claims. Joining the anti-separatist efforts across the world. That seems okay. Again, we want to at least try to keep either a balanced council or have Franco actually be in charge. Right now we're at about a 50-50, which is good. All of Russia is still basically exploded. I don't know. I guess Germany's basically has lost complete control over the region. We'll see if maybe they can get that back. And now we're no longer trading in swing factories. Fantastic. Wait, do I need oil? The answer is yes, because you need oil to run your factories in this mod. I forgot about that. Okay, so, America. Why do I have no factories? Black market, 30% utilization. I need to increase construction budget, which would then allow me to import oil once again, or at least I should have factories available. No, even with that Increase, I still don't have enough money. Or don't have enough factories. No, I have 6. I have 6 factories. Let me import a unit of oil, you bastards. Is that enough? Yes, barely enough. We'll get a little bit of steel from the Japanese. And overall, I think that's going to be decent enough for now. Again, we don't really need to worry about what France is doing. I don't know if France can even go to war with us. Their volunteer forces have returned home. You will just go back to Algeria, basically. Have fun being there. I mean, you're a puppet state. You have no national focus, so I'm assuming you're basically done your focus tree for now. You're basically just going to stay under our control forever. There are some people coming back to life in the south. But I don't think it matters so much. Is there any equipment we actually need? The answer is no, so I'm just going to make some infantry equipment just because it's like the easiest thing to make. Seems good to me. Let's go back. Let's look back at Germany. We also have 200 political power. I should be spending something on this. Add money. We are 61% towards completion. Let's complete some more plumbing. And why not give one more raise to the workers? I mean, Bormann is looking, I think, pretty decent. Goring is... I mean, you're doing the worst, right? Yeah, Heydrich. I can't see Heydrich actually winning. Pierre Sodin, elected president of France. They're just... they're just like the fashion. It doesn't really make a big difference. Personal manpower. This is fine. I think it's worthwhile. Because we're still... Are we still strongly conservative? Or have we at least made some efforts there? Okay, now we're just normal conservative. We can get ourselves up to very reformist. Maybe that'll not have Iberia explode into like 15 different countries. Fingers crossed on that one, but I'm still not holding my breath. So where are there still wars going on? Still wars in Germany, still war in Madagascar. All of Russia is unsurprisingly in a dumpster fire. And it looks like Germany is probably going to end up winning their war in Madagascar soon. I mean, where did Speer start with this? No, so I think Speer has taken over some territory. Like I think he's bigger than when he started. Yeah, because this was all part of Bormann. Yeah, no, so I think Spear's doing okay. I don't think I can send him any troops or anything like that, but... Look, he's got 25% liberal democracy. That's, I think, better than anybody else has. I think everybody's just, like, different flavors of fascist, right? Oh, you got 4% authoritarian democracy. With maybe, like, a 1% liberal? 2% conservative, okay. And the shield has been broken. Oh, you've just made one giant country under the Burgundian system, huh? That doesn't seem terrifying at all. The African Shield was an alliance of convenience between the German colonies of Africa seeking to secure their survival in the wake of the German Civil War. When they invaded South Africa, many assumed that it would eventually unravel, either due to constant regime collapses or the OFN military victory, but it came due to the most unexpected cause, betrayal from within. American intelligence has verified reports of Hans Huttig, Reichs commander of West Africa, has murdered his compatriot Wolfgang and forced Stephen Müller to flee the continent. Huttig has since proclaimed the Gross African Reichsstaat, compromising all German Africa with himself as the sole leader. However, this outraged the Germans, who declared his new regime illegitimate. Without aid from home, the future of Huttig's superstate looks bleak. Does he have a focus tree at this point, or is it basically unrest? You do have a negative, like, what's that, negative 60% stability modifier? Atmosphere unrest. Yeah, so I have a feeling that they're not long for this world. You just make one. When I tried to make one giant super state when we played as America, everyone told me that I was going to fail. It did fail. But, like, I don't think the Germans are going to have much more success. Let me just put it that way. Is there anything else we want to do? Trees extraction. Claims. What about imposing new tariffs? I mean, our GDP will go down. You know, let's reach out to other Catholic nations. Or reach out to non-Catholic nations. Okay. I mean, America's not a Catholic nation, and we do kind of want to make sure he's, or they're on our side, at least. So what do? You are just, Continue popular fascism minus 2.5%. You know what? That probably still makes sense for us to do. Actually, it does not make sense for us to do. There's actually no fascists in the government right now. So, you know what? It's not worth our time. We could send them guns. Do you need guns? The answer is yes. I mean, do I want to help Spear out? Nah, it's fine. Let's just improve our internal affairs for now. I mean, I could. No, actually, I can't just get weapons through this either. It has to be through the specific events. Because right now, I mean, like the reformist. You know, you got the conservatives, the market liberals. They're about like 50-50. Which is better than I believe we started out with. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Formation of a national spirit. Like Iberia itself, the Iberian family is indivisible. It is a natural unit from which Iberian society is built. Like law and religion, the Iberian family is inviolable. Always must be honored, never can be corrupted. 14-year-old Beatrice studied for tomorrow's exam. This can't all be it, right? Beatrice thought. A large bruise on her thigh hardly felt like it was a sign of her family's strength. Like a diamond, the Iberian family is indestructible. Nothing can break the family bond between husband and wife, between father and son. Was Mom's black eye meant to protect that bond? Even a child could pass. Even a child could pass formation of national spirit. Why then was it so difficult for her to understand why her textbook was telling her? What did it mean by inviolable, or honor, or indestructible? Indeed, the very values of Iberia are enshrined in its families. Our very destiny is laid out in our families, working as a singular entity in service of God and the nation. That which could threaten the Iberian family, be it divorce, adultery, or homosexuality, threaten the Iberian nation itself just as much as communism, anarchism, or terrorism. Perhaps Dad did what he did out of love. Was that what the textbook was saying? Beatrice never thought of it that way before. Whether she really believed it or not, the thought of her father as a man who loved his family deep in his heart brought her some comfort, comfortable enough at least, that she could rest for tomorrow's exam. Okay, so we do, I mean, you know what, screw it. Let's import one river from the Japanese as well. Because they have gotten a new name. They are no longer, I think, they sort of start off being called Japan. Now they're the Dai Nihon Tikakao. That's definitely not pronounced right. Like, are you going to go for, like, the ultra-nationalist path? I'm not too sure. Your vibe's level 1. You can send out volunteers to people. What flag is this? Oh, it's Bhutan. Okay. I mean, the Cultural Prosperity Sphere, I would say, is looking pretty powerful. I mean, the Alliance of Free, or the Organization of Free Nations. I mean, it has the United States in it, which usually makes it already pretty strong to begin with. And of course, everybody hears that war. Well, can Hungary and Ukraine, or Romania and Hungary go to war? I know it's in like their trees here. For like Romania, there's the ethnic people, but I don't know if they can actually go to war. And how is Italy doing? I mean, they've got Croatia, they've got Italy, or Egypt, I should say. But other than that, they're not really doing that impressively. Okay, is there anything else we can do for? Okay, Madagascar. Okay, so the Nazis have won in Madagascar. Determining legal political stances. From the events of the Spanish Civil War and the crisis Portugal was embroiled in before the Estado Novo, we have ample reason to ban liberal opinions from the Iberian Council. However, as they have been pointed out by several advisors, doing so could potentially alienate Opus Dei, which is a promising organization. Despite the wishes of both of the Cadillos, it may be necessary to liberalize our regime somewhat. In the case of letting such more liberal elements into the council, we'll have to watch much more closely to root out inversion, but the benefits could potentially outstrip the expenditures of resources. Overall, I think we'll let the liberals in. We're definitely not going to... We're at 63% completion. We're not banning the dam yet. I don't think we're ever going to abandon the dam unless it, you know, becomes untenable. But I don't think it's going to become untenable unless there's an event that's basically like, oh, hey, it's like literally blowing up right now. But I don't think that's going to happen. What are your plans, Italy? What are you thinking? Okay, more people are going to war in Kazakhstan. We don't care about that. Let's go more anti-tank. Again, it doesn't really matter what you research in this mod. Mostly because, like, you're not going to be going to war that much for it to really matter. Like, I'm trying to think, like, who else could be... I mean, other than the Civil War, that might break out in Iberia, but hopefully, again, we can avoid that. Add another $1 million to the damn budget. Let's reduce costs for electrical equipment. So right now, the workers are still content. I don't know, like, what happens when the dam's actually finished? And who thought that building a dam instead of just having, like, because boats can't go through here, right? No, they can. So there is still a strait here. I thought the dam blocked off the entire strait, but maybe they didn't. The academic crisis. In 1956, concerned that socialist beliefs were taking root in Portuguese universities, the Cathedrals implemented restrictions on students' ability to organize on campus. This backfired, triggering sizable anti-government student protest. The anniversary of the first protest became known as Students' Day, and once a year, reform-minded Iberian students peacefully protest for greater academic freedoms, trusting that their youth and high social status will deter police retaliation. In the past 4 years, these protests have become more explicitly anti-government and radical in their demands. Thus, 6 weeks ago, the Cathedrals prohibited all Student Day events indefinitely. While most would-be protesters came to demand, students at the University of Lisbon arranged a massive strike. As many as 70% of the students had stopped attending classes and turned in assignments. They not only demand a reversal of Student Day ban, but also a wider freedom of speech and organization on campus, and an end to the racially and ideologically motivated restriction on student admissions. This protest received little attention at first, leading organizers to adopt more extreme approaches. A mass hunger strike, over 1,000 students filled in UOL's cafeteria in the single largest protest of Portugal since Salazar took office. The protest must end, lest images of malnourished students appear on the press or worse. Both Cathedrals favor the obvious option of sending police to detain the students for a few days and suck the life out of the protest. Some reformist advisors fear that this could backfire and lead to more outrage. Notably, current rector of the UOL and former high-ranking minister Marcio Canto has argued that most of the students' demands are reasonable, and exceeding these demands would weaken support for the other, unacceptably radical proposals. Other advisors bite back at giving us protesters an inch would only encourage more radical protests in the future. Ultimately, however, the Cathedrals must not stand idly as their authority was challenged. I don't know if we were supposed to be giving an option on that, or my previous decisions have made that option an inevitability. I'm not too sure, but I think it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching my Anthem. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoying, thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.